One is out. Situation is disgusting by Mori. I don't really do the function. Nope. I don't fuck with the fuck shit. Throwing on my dummy fit. Fuck it. I'ma pop out. Hey y'all. Welcome back to your second favorite YouTuber. I am J.SHEP Reacts. Now, as you just heard the title, I guess there's a situation going on with this guy named TheOdd1sOut. I'm assuming he's probably like a commentary channel or something. I don't know. I've never heard of him, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and like this video. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and reoccurring viewers and new viewers, go ahead and like the video for me and comment. You know what I'm saying? It helps push the video out to the algorithm. Any engagement with the video really helps, especially watching it all the way through, liking, commenting, subscribing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's go ahead and get to this video right here. Okay, if it'll start.
So Twitter, per usual, are trying to destroy another person either through exaggerated claims or things that are entirely untrue without the context needed to understand the situation fully. So YouTuber TheOdd1sOut, of which I'm sure we're all familiar with him if you've been on the platform since, 2016, 2017, 2018.
Okay. So it's like an animation channel. Okay, I'm tripping, not a commentary channel. I have seen some of these videos. I get recommended them here and there.
When he blew up off of that Subway sandwich video, I believe, all the way back then. Well, now Twitter is trying to cancel this man, and I think Reddit is involved as well, because apparently he fired his entire animation team for some obfuscated reason. We don't know entirely sure why. But according to headlines, YouTuber TheOdd1sOut sparks outrage after firing entire animation team without warning. Netizens say...
Well, before we learn everything about this situation, firing your employees, yeah, it's always tricky, because then it's like, yeah, I get it. They're going to feel some type of way, especially if it's out of the blue, or if you don't give them time to, like, be prepared for that. And it's, you know what I'm saying, which is almost everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And I think if you're an animation team, it's probably, I don't want to, speak ignorantly, but I guess I am speaking ignorantly, but I would assume it's probably easier for you to find a new animation job with a YouTuber or another studio than it is to, like, for somebody like me, like doing like a blue collar job or whatever, because all these factories are laying people off and firing people left and right, and they're only keeping the people that have been there for 20+ years. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's not a bad person for firing his employees. If he wants to fire the employees for whatever reason, in a sense of like, oh, I want to just start doing my own animations again or something, my own editing, my own animations. If he does do that, that way he's saving more money for himself. I get it, which is what all these companies do. That's why they lay off and fire people, I get it, that you got to make decisions. But assuming, since he's a YouTuber, he's not a multi-million-dollar company or a multi-billion-dollar company. I wouldn't doubt if he makes $1 million or more off of this channel. But yeah, assuming that, he probably, wants to make more money off of his YouTube vid. That's probably why he fired his employees. That's what I'm assuming.
James has blood on his hands, and based off of what I was able to see, he has had, I think, around 20 or so animators, between 20 and 25 animators on his entire team, his roster, to create his YouTube videos. And just for further context for people who are unfamiliar with TheOdd1sOut, he's basically an animator YouTuber. Like I said, he blew
20 million subscribers, but I mean only 194 videos. I say at least 1 million, if not 1 million, high 6 figures, like 700,000 or more a year he's probably making. But I don't want to say like $2, $3, $4, $5 million, because yeah, he got 20.7 million subscribers, but his output isn't as high, you know what I'm saying, as like a lot of people with those channels have. Like they normally have over 300 or 400 videos, by now at 20 million subscribers. So
back in like 2018 or whatever, and a lot of his videos, as you can see, are surrounded on animation with his little character, his main guy, and different little stories that he uploads to his channel. Now, of course, as everybody knows, or at least I believe everyone should know, creating animation to this degree, on a consistent schedule by yourself with all the script writing, the audio, the visuals, the drawing of different panelings, the editing. I mean, as you can see, one person can't do all this, and you would have to hire someone to do this, especially considering after doing all that, you also have to do the voiceover. I mean, I heard figures in order to create animation videos like this, believe it or not, it could take upwards of a budget of $20,000 to $40,000 per month, even higher. I heard figures of even up to $80,000 per month that he had on payroll for his employees. So you can imagine if you run an animation channel.
I mean, I would imagine if he's paying that much, like say 20 bands a month, you know, just to do the minimum. 20 bands a month, 20 people. What is that, like $1,000 each? I'd assume that this isn't their only job, you feel me? They're probably animating for other, you know, channels. And if this is your only job, I would have hoped that you're not, you know what I'm saying, only animating for this guy. Because it sounds like to me, yeah, if it's 20 to 40 bands, it's like, yeah, 40 bands, everyone's making $2,000 a month out of 20 people, 84 grand a month out of, you know, whatever. But just to, you know, 20 to 40, $1,000 to $2,000 per month, that's not enough to cover, you know, bills and stuff. So I would hope that they have more than just one channel that they're animating for.
And you have about 20 employees, you're paying $80,000 potentially in overhead per month with payroll in mind, and that's just for your business and not taking into account personal expenses, bills, mortgage, cars, loans, whatever the hell he has outside of his media company online. That tied in with the fact that animation videos aren't as popular as they were like 5-6 years ago. People have moved on to more drama related content, commentary type news content. That is in fact what's the most popular on the platform now. Vlogging, IRL, streaming, commentary, news content. And animators are pretty much dying out, aside from the super popular ones out there that, you know, animate real life, real world events, talking about like the channel here, Kurt's Kazakh, that we've all seen before on YouTube. Very good videos. Even though they're even incredibly popular, they're slowing down too with their content. It just seems like the animation space is dying out. People aren't making as much money as they once were before, unfortunately. And now it's to the point to where, and again, this is very still convoluted, this guy, the creator of TheOdd1sOut, James Rallison, they say is his name, is now facing backlash after reports claimed he abruptly fired his animation team. Leaked messages from freelancers sparked outrage online, with fans questioning the decision and raising wider concerns about job security for artists working behind major YouTube channels and anime.
Which I already know, like, there's like, I don't know if it's still going on, but there was like a writer's strike a couple years ago, but that was mainly like with what was it, like manga writers and animators for animes and stuff. So I don't know if this also affects them in that sense, but like I said, I would imagine it's not. Well, you know what, nah, I take back what I said in the beginning, because then, yeah, if what Mori is saying, animation channels are dying out, which, yeah, it does seem like all animation channels have kind of like slowed down dropping videos, and they've all like started a second channel doing something else, like, you know, reaction videos or commentary videos or vlogs or something like that. So yeah, I take that back, or like they're even doing gaming channels or like, you know, Twitch. So yeah, I do take that back. Maybe it isn't as easy as for them to find another animation channel, but with knowing that, then I would hope that the reason for him for firing his animation team and stuff is that he wants to just, you know, retain more of his money for himself, you know, because if he can't afford employees, then yeah, you gotta go, you know, that's just what it is.
Content creators. And one commenter below said, likely cutting costs because his videos aren't making as much money as they used to. And you know, it's most unfortunate likely. When you hire that many people and you're running content and uploading and producing stuff that takes a lot of money to create. If the markets ever go downward or they shift down, you're going to be in a very bad place, and you're going to have to figure out a way to raise capital, or you're going to have to start firing people. But now people are saying things like how it feels to unsub from TheOdd1sOut because he's a sellout to Netflix and now fired his entire animation team, so now they've lost their main source of income. Another person said, being an animator is horrifying. Imagine having TheOdd1sOut as your only source of income. Another person said, what do you mean people are defending this MFer when he fired his whole animation team? Nobody Nobody knows why he did it, and it's a bad thing. Please look out for the animators and F James for giving them zero notice before letting his team go. Another individual is...
I mean, it's like I said, in the day, I mean, I don't know how close he was with his animators, but I mean, he's the boss. They're the employees. That's just how it's always. That's how it always is in America. Period. Like, you know, outside of like being an animator it's like a very niche job. So yeah, like at the end of the day, it's like you should always stack up your money and be ready to, you know, just in case, you know, you do get fired. Because sooner or later, like something like that, like yeah, it is gonna die out. It's harder to get people to watch videos and stuff like that are like animation videos like that. And then, you know, I understand with this economy, it probably is harder to save your money nowadays. But at the same time, why are we mad at this guy for firing them without notice or whatever, when it's like he's the employer, they're the employees? That's the relationship probably. And like I said, it's probably because he's not making as much money as he was before. So he probably looked at it, yeah, I'm not going to be able to afford a whole entire animation team anymore. Or maybe he wants to stop, like, making new videos. Or like, only whenever he wants to do it himself or something. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, clearly, they're slowing down, so it's harder to tell new stories. It's harder to have something to talk about nowadays, too. So it's just like, why are we jumping to conclusions with this? Like and being mean and mad about it. Like, why are we being mad about this? Like,
said F the odd ones out. Never saw the appeal of it. I feel sorry for the entire team being fired, but hopefully they'll move on to bigger and better projects than the odd ones out. Another individual who was the former lead animator for the Odd Ones Out team said, I do not understand why most of you speak on the Odd Ones Out situation as if you were there for the layoffs too. Contracts were involved. It was abrupt and done on a whim one afternoon with no prior context. This is not a normal outcome even in freelance settings. He also followed up by saying, please do not harass the team for speaking about what little we know about the situation. We'd like answers and closures. It's just as much as you. Instead, direct that energy to helping us get back on our feet. The team is incredibly talented and was always pleasant to work with. One commenter said, business is business. If you're working for money, don't put all your eggs in one basket. One person said,
that's my attitude about it. Like, y'all, I understand it's freelance work and y'all did have contracts or whatever. Maybe he, quote unquote, owes y'all a certain amount of money now that he did fire y'all without notice and but it is what it is. That's just how I view it. Because it's like, you know, I've been through it a lot in my life too. You know, I mean, I haven't been fired from a job. Every job I've had, I've been fortunate enough to leave, like, myself on my own will, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, it just is what it is, bro. You gotta keep it pushing.
how do you know it wasn't, and I quote, done on a whim and not planned? Just because you didn't know in advance doesn't mean people didn't know it was planned. Here we have one YouTuber speaking out, saying, do people think that YouTubers are just supposed to bankrupt themselves to continue paying their staff when their business becomes unprofitable? Another person said either he realized he hired too many people for the operation he runs, or we're about to see the funniest pivot to AI content of all time. One person who was actually on the team said, so yes, I was a part of this team layoff, but I'm doing just fine. I still have plenty of animation jobs under my wing.
See,
and
that's what I'm saying. If you're out of those 20 people, out of that crew or whatever, and you didn't have other animation jobs, what are you doing? Like, that's how I feel about it. If you know, oh, I'm only getting this amount from Odd Ones Out, okay, yeah, yep, let me go animate for another YouTuber. Let me hit up some more YouTubers, see if they need an animator on their team or whatever. Like, easy. Like, what are we talking about?
Ask you support all the other artists and animators on James's team, retweet their portfolios, demo reels, commission pages, etc. And in this other tweet, and I quote, Odd Ones Out isn't obligated to keep paying 20 people, end quote. Followed up by saying, don't hire people then, I don't know. And you know, after reading,
he's been on YouTube for 10 years or 10 years or more. Was he just not supposed to ever hire people? Like, what are we talking about, huh?
all these tweets and, you know, diving a little bit into the decline of animation overall online. I just gotta say, this is why it's very important, and this isn't just for content creators or animators, but anybody really. Do not box yourself in based off of trends. Actually try and spread your wings out as far as they could possibly go. Spread your eggs out. Diversify your portfolio. Be adaptable. Do variety if you can, because if you box yourself in and you're only known for doing one particular thing or talking about one particular type of topic, then eventually when that trend dies down, you're essentially this is why I have like different channels: Facebook, Spotify, 3 YouTube channels, gaming coming soon, true crime, links in the description, because I don't ever want to be boxed into a particular category. I don't ever want to be boxed into any particular niche, and then I'm having to make the crazy decision to fire all my employees, fire my editor, downsize, sell my channel, my platforms, and have to completely quit everything I've built over the last decade or so. So although some people are going to be mad, I'm going to say James did what he had to do, and he did make a
Thank you. Like, I thought I was crazy for a second. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, huh?
response just now, as of today, saying there's been some discussion online about changes to my team, and I want to clear a few things up. We still have an animation team, and the artists working on future projects will continue to be credited in the videos they participate in making. Over the years, I've worked with a lot of really talented freelancers on a project-by-project basis, depending on the needs of the video. My team size has always fluctuated. Freelance creative work often shifts as projects evolve, and right now I'm working on scaling the team to focus on more condensed roles. Last year, despite having a sizable team, we only released 3 videos, which is just crazy to me. Let's assume 3 of those videos got like 2 to 3 million views per video. Actually, we can check here. Those 3 videos from last year, 4.5 million views, 7.6 and 5.1, which is somewhere between 18 and 20 million views. And if my math serves me right, with the average ad rates on YouTube, not including sponsors, he would have only made $150,000 just off of those 3 videos last year.
150,000. That's still some good money. But when you got a sizable team still hired and you're paying them, I can understand.
And if you're gonna have a budget anywhere between $20,000 and $80,000 per video, then obviously you can see how crazy the costs are for animating stuff like this. But he went on to say, this made it clear that I needed to seriously rework my production process. This was never a reflection of anyone's talent or the work they did. Many of these people helped build the channel, and I'm grateful for the time, creativity, and effort they put into the projects. This was not an easy thing to do. He also said I had one-on-one conversations with every artist involved and had face-to-face conversations with everyone locally. This was not some cold and insensitive breakup text. Some of the artists I've worked with have been part of the channel for a long time, and because of that, I try to handle these things in the most respectful way possible. I provided severance packages to all full-time freelancers. That wasn't something I planned on sharing publicly, but since this
Wow, so one of them that was just speaking out try to make it like they were being mad about it, but he did give them money. See, like, what are we talking about?
situation was already brought online, I feel it's important that all the details are understood. It's been frustrating seeing the situation described online in a way that makes this feel or look hostile when I tried my best to make sure my artists were taken care of. And in this third screenshot, he just goes on to say how it was difficult, you know, managing a company like this and the responsibility, the overhead. I mean, obviously it takes an emotional toll. And he also linked all the current artists that were, you know, working for him prior to this departure of the team. And of course, despite all that clarification of what happened, of course, someone in the comment section started off by saying, ... this is PR talk. Why did you actually fire them? And speak like a normal person and not a fucking...
He just told... What the... Bro, people be like, if y'all ever seen that one thing on Twitter, what's that mean? It'll be like, oh, when you say like you don't like something or something like that, and then they're like, no. When you say that you like something, but then the person under there, they're like, oh, so you're saying waffles then? You say you like pancakes. Oh, what about waffles and French toast? You don't like waffles and French... Like, it'll be like some dumb stuff like that. Like, they'll flip it to where, like, they're trying to say you dislike something when you're just... You know what I'm saying? Like, he just told you the reason very detailed too, honestly, of why he fired the people that he fired. And he even said, hey, I even locally met up with the ones that were local. I gave everyone severance packages. If y'all don't know what that means he compensated them, for however long the contract was supposed to be. He paid them out, basically. So it was like, this is better than just a regular layoff. You get laid off from your job, you don't get paid. You feel me? And the most you can do is file for unemployment if that's the case. So it's just like, what the, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing all the complaining here, bro. Go find you another job, bro. That's just what it is.
CEO this time, so clearly people are just unhinged. Another person said it's okay. Twitter just thinks that anyone who has the label artist deserves infinite free money, man. Listen, nobody's infallible to layoffs or being fired or losing their job due to economic shifts. It is what it is. I don't know. Do people think your boss should just subsidize your entire life while the business is sinking? If they can no longer fund your payroll, I don't understand that. So yeah, to loop back to the beginning of this video, I just feel like the entire fabric of the situation is blown out of proportion. I think too many people are taking this way too seriously and not understanding that, hey, if he doesn't have the budget to actually pay animators, and the budget requires tens of thousands of dollars per month, if he's uploading consistently, let's say 2 to 3 animations per month, that paired with ad rates not being as high as they were back in COVID years, because they were high. Additionally, with animation not being as popular as it once was, I mean, can you blame the guy? And he also said that he gave them a severance package. A lot of bosses are not going to do that. They're not going to even have a face-to-face conversation with these people. They're just going to
that to freelancers. Like, it wasn't like these dudes were like, oh, here's a W-2, like you're getting W-2s, like I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are freelancers, meaning like they come and go, like they have to get a renewed contract every month or 2 months or however long the first contract is, and it could possibly be more or less money if that's the case.
Fire him. So I don't know, maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe it's because I'm a business owner myself and I have a better understanding of the economics. Like, literally, if I can't pay you, what am I supposed to do? Bankrupt myself? No, it's just, it is what it is. But what are your thoughts below? What do you think about this? I understand we live in a tricky time and place for AI and artists and animators and anybody who creates anything with their hands competing with each other. It's crazy. I don't think James is going to be using AI for his content, but I do realize that AI has influenced the market as well. So yeah, enough yapping. Thoughts and opinions on below. What do you think about?
Hey man, I honestly think people are like overreacting with that. Like I said, me working a job myself is like, bro, your job don't give a damn about you. And even if he didn't face to face meet the ones that were local or do one-on-one, chats with the people or whatever before he fired them, or offered them money, paid them out basically before he fired them or after he fired, whatever, I still don't see nothing wrong with it, because it's like, bro, that's just like a job everywhere. That's a job everywhere, bro. Like, you move on though. Like, you gotta move on. And like I said, for the ones that were just primarily relying on him as their source of income, they should have already had other jobs lined up if they already weren't working multiple animation jobs. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. But the fact that he compensated y'all, he paid y'all out the rest of y'all contract, that just shows this dude, he's a good dude, unless he got something else going on that I don't know about. But it sounds like to me the dude's a stand-up guy. Like, that's some stand-up guy stuff, man. So yeah, go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell. Listen to my music, all caps, say .SHEP. Follow me at I am J.SHEP3 on Instagram and TikTok. Stay on the channel, you know what I'm saying, binge watch the videos. I got over 140 plus videos now for you, you know what I'm saying. And I love and appreciate every single one of y'all, you know what I'm saying. And until next time, deuces.